And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the level 89 tank role quest in Final Fantasy XIV. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in the Adder's Nest in Gridania, and we need to talk to the Keeper of Entwined Serpents. The quest is called Heart's True. The Keeper of the Entwined Serpents is on the lookout for Poms in the distance. Gleipnir has not been seen since our last encounter. This brief respite may be our best chance to quell the Great One's terror. Make way for saplings, Kupo. We've had plenty of practice cultivating our gardens, so selecting the most robust ones was a simple matter. That was the hardest work, so you can help us with the easy part. If you see a spot of corruption, cleanse the taint and paint the sapling in its place. Do it enough times and the Great One is sure to understand that we're doing all we can to heal the forest, which ought to brighten its mood. We'll see to the E-Shroud. You should have no trouble taking care of the rest. Your efforts are much appreciated. We will begin without further delay. I trust you will not object to my company. I dare say healing the forest is one task for which I am more qualified than most. Elder Cecia, are you well enough to leave the city? I should like to think I have been for some time. In any event, Izumi has finally grown tired of my objections and ceased his attempts to detain me further. Allow me to be the one to consecrate the saplings. It would be an honor to offer words of thanks to the forest of its bounty. Please do, Kupo. A prayer for the Elder Cecia herself will surely hasten their growth from tiny sapling to towering tree. Such is my hope. As Jaren did before me, I shall approach the Great One in friendship, that it might see through the veil of fear that blinds it and remember our covenant. Let's begin by cleansing all traces of corruption in the central shroud. To Green Tier, I sense that the flow of Vape has become warped there. Impressive. Not even my keen eyes could spot corruption from such a distance. It is but one of many talents I owe to the elementals. Well then, shall we be on our way? Alright, let's go to Green Tier. Okay, so we made it. So let's see, corrupted air. Okay, so let's deal with this. Okay, dead. Nice. Alright, let's talk to Kanisana. So, in gratitude of your boundless blessings do I offer this gift. May it nourish you as you nourish us. At last, the earth is cleansed. There is a settlement not far from here. We should tell them of this sapling. Bid them watch over and keep it from harm. Of course, Elder Cecia. I shall relay your words forthwith. It will give the people hope to know that they can aid in the restoration of the Trollswood. Thank you, and now we must go. To Silent Arbor, there is something foul that impedes the flow of Aether. Let us hurry. Alright, so let's go on to the next place. Okay, we made it to the next location. So now we're fighting corrupted water. Alright, again, let's talk to Kanisana. So the injury has begun to heal, and our next destination lies to the north. So, near Hurstmill, I believe. 'Tis vain, for we are far from the source. Nevertheless, I am certain it is there. Come. Alright, let's go to Hurstmill. Okay, we caught up with her. So, 'tis fortunate that the corruption here is faint. A simple prayer should suffice to cleanse this soil, after which we may plant the sapling. I sense no other disruptions in the etheric flow, which leads me to believe that the Mughals have already seen to the remainder. Indeed, the Trollswood sighs with a contentment I have not felt in a long while. But but will it serve to placate the Great One? I cannot say. Not until we visit the Guardian Tree. So, excuse me, but you're the Elder City, aren't you? What brings you all the way to our village? Corruption that had upset the balance of Aether, but that we have since cleansed with prayer and saplings. Thus, the Trollswood reclaimed a measure of peace. You've been planting trees? We have. The elementals have suffered much of late, and with these offerings we endeavour to raise their spirits. Elder Titia, I've got to protest. What of your people's spirits? We who dread every step we must take out of doors. What? That terrible monster is still out there, preying upon innocent folk without rhyme or reason. And if it doesn't strike us dead where we stand, its poison will finish the job. I know that you are afraid, and that you and yours suffer still. However, 'tis under the auspices of the elementals that we may call the Trollswood home, and they too cry out for deliverance. Even the Great One quakes with fear for the blasphemy's continued existence. So, to ignore their plight is to invite greater tragedy for us all. Rest assured, however, that I have not forgotten the needs of the people. We bring comfort to the elementals and renew our sacred ties that we might enlist the aid of the Great One in combating Glyfnir and the suffocating despair it spreads. And so I pray that you continue to put your faith in our guardians and in me. Would that we could, Elder Cetia, but we've been dealing with death and sickness since before Glyfnir's coming. They say that the creeping death's nothing to fear these days, but we know better. One of ours caught it not long ago. We gave her the cure, had plenty on hand, and for a while we thought that it would be alright. but by the time we realized it hadn't done a damn thing, it was too late to call for a conjurer. It was a sad day for all of us when she passed, but for none more so than her poor husband, Supin. He was beside himself with grief, and who could blame him? And then came Glefnir to compound our woes. Supin, it cannot be. Do you speak of Isura Supin? Isura? No, Supin was an odd one, but no one would mistake him for a Pajal. Supin wasn't even his real name. That be Alinja. Well, his wife was fond of calling him Supin for some reason, and it caught on with the rest of us. I see. And what did LNJ look like? Well, I'd say that he'd seen no more than 30 summers, kept to himself, came and went with nary a word at times, though after he met his beloved, he became more of a fixture, friendly even. His wife was a sickly lass, but she had spirit. But spirit's not enough to beat the creeping death. Pity we couldn't do anything for her. He had finally made a new life for himself here. Thank you for recounting Alenje's story. Sad though it has helped me to better understand how much you all have suffered. I promise that you will have cause to celebrate soon. Until then, I implore you again to place your faith in the elementals and in me. Together we shall overcome this crisis. Despite what he said, I am certain this Alenje was Isura Supin. To think that he was living so close by for all those years, searching for a new purpose and finding true love, only to be robbed of that fulfillment too. Were he still a Pajal empowered by the elementals, could he have saved her? He would have dwell on the question. Night after sleepless night. I would have. Mayhap in the end, he came to blame the elementals for his helplessness, for her death, and in despair was consumed. The animosity would linger and endure, and in vengeance would Glefnir find his final purpose. We have done all we can to show the Great One the purity of our intent. Let us hope that we will be accepted as friends. Okay, so now we need to go back to the Guardian Tree. So, let's go. Okay, so we caught up with them at the Guardian Tree. So our supplications cannot have escaped the Great One's notice. May it be enough to receive an audience? So, O Great One, may I abide ever beneath your boughs, embraced by your compassion, grace, and wisdom. Be still the fear within your heart, and know that I am your faithful servant. So, all feeling. Passing corruption, refreshed, renewed green, flesh restored. Child of child, covenant honored, friend, friendship, peace. It worked. The Great One speaks through the Elder Seedsir. We were right to follow Durin's example. The corruption is but one aspect of a greater threat. We beseech your help to slay Glivnir. So profanities spawn, despair's orphan, sadness and anger, sadness, despair, one and all. Poison potent, wounds unmending, withering bark, no strength to share. After all we had done, you deny us? After all the elder Seedseer has endured? She has pledged herself to you, devoted her life to the Twelswood. The people cried out for salvation, and she answered. The elementals cried out for deliverance, and she answered. Only you can help us now. If you do not, then we are lost. She is lost. Please, I beg you. We beg you. So, what are you doing here? We've been depending on the Seed Seers all our lives, blaming them whenever something goes wrong, without ever considering what we might do ourselves. Aye, but no longer. The elder Seedseer has gone to incredible lengths for her people, and so her people have come to return the favor. If her plea alone is not convincing enough, then we will raise our voices in support. We couldn't let them make the journey without protection. That, and we couldn't let them put us to shame. We too have come to stand with the elder Seedseer and beseech the Great One for aid. We all want the same thing, don't we? Peace restored to the forest. But please, share what you can, however little. Do not forsake us, do not forsake her. Kani, Covenant's child, walks with man, with elemental, keeper of ancient faith, unbroken. Will not break faith to man rendered up flesh. Then you agree to help us? Flesh branches take and join to oldest elders, renew bond as one stir. Raise up to heaven's covenant symbol, our staff, all join, all bloom, all peace. My duty weighed heavy on my heart, so heavy that at times I scarce remembered to breathe. For days and nights I worried that I would be found wanting. But by your faith and trust has the path forward been revealed to us. You came hither, united in purpose, and bared your hearts before the Great One. Negridania, is forever in your debt. May I rely on you all once more? I bid you take these branches to every corner of the Twelswood and join them to the eldest trees, that we might finally win free of this despair. It shall be done, Elder Seedseer. We swear it. Once the trees have been bound together in spirit, I shall carry out the Great One's final instruction and cast his cleansing power all across the Trollswood. Yet I must remind you, my friends, that Glyphnir still stalks the forest. It will not remain idle. It will attempt to stop us. Go with hope in your hearts, but do not lose sight of the danger. Cool. Alright, let's finish this off. So I admit, for a moment I thought it wouldn't work, but the Elder Seeds here moved not only the hearts of the people, but that of the forest itself. The final task appears to be a bit more complicated than the Great One made it sound, and so she must scour the ancient texts before the time comes, and consult with the Seatir Council to make sure all goes according to plan. It's just as well. We still need to wait until the others have joined the Great One's branches to the many ancient trees scattered throughout the Trollswood. Then, of course, there is the matter of Glyphnir. He will not go peacefully as we work to hasten his demise. When he comes, we must be ready. Cool. Alright. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys.